Welcome to another episode of News Dose, where I give you some of the latest news, rumors, and speculation on the game industry. And to nobody's surprise, there is more Nintendo Switch Mini rumors, or leaks depending on how you want to view all this. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, and it also looks like Microsoft is still developing an XCloud Console, which is built to be a cheap streaming option. Of course, they're still developing the next generation Xbox, codenamed Scarlet as well, so this doesn't have anything to do with that. But before we get into all that, let's talk a little bit about Shenmue 3 right now, because there has been a lot of controversy that's surrounded this game in the last month or two. As we all know, Shenmue is returning after a long hiatus, partially because of a very successful Kickstarter a few years ago, which did debut on Sony's E3 stage. However, a lot has changed in the PC landscape since Shenmue 3 was announced, most notably the rise of the Epic Game Store. Now, whether you like the Epic Game Store or not, it's surely been making its name well known within the last year, gobbling up a lot of exclusive games, or at the very least timed exclusives, and Shenmue 3 appears to be one of those exclusive deals. Of course, when fans were originally backing the Shenmue 3 Kickstarter, they were more than likely expecting a Steam version of the game on PC as the reward. However, they've recently announced that the fans backing Shenmue 3 would instead be getting an Epic Game Store version. This didn't really go well with the fans, and pitchforks of course came out, and now publisher Deep Silver has gotten involved trying to dispel some of this controversy. Deep Silver went on to say, "Along with Deep Silver and Epic Games, we've agreed that should the above proposal not be acceptable to backers, refund requests will be honored. Details concerning the refund request process will be announced in a following update. We ask for your patience until that time. In the case rewards within your reward tier, such as in-game content, have already been created and implemented, a full refund may not be possible. If selecting either the PC physical or PC digital version, an option to also receive a Steam key 1 year later will be available. Backers must manually select this option in the survey to receive the Steam key." So at this moment, it looks like those who want to play Shenmue 3 on Steam will have to wait a year longer, unfortunately. I don't really know though, this entire situation just kinda sucks. I know there's a lot of fans who really hate the Epic Game Store because, well, it does lack a lot of features that Steam has, but at least you'll be able to get a refund or a Steam key eventually if that helps with anything. I'm not sure, and I don't think this situation should have ever happened in the first place, but it is what it is, I suppose. In other news, more Nintendo Switch Mini rumors pops up again, and this time with the name Mini Switch 2 leaked by Big Ben Silicone Glove. Not really sure what I think about the name Switch Mini 2. I mean, it's better than the new 3DS, but let's just assume that this is true. But I think this is the third or fourth listing or prototype that I've seen pop up for the Switch Mini in just the last couple weeks, so do we really just call all this a coincidence? I mean, do we really need more proof on the Switch Mini by this point? Now, with that said, these websites could purposely be putting these pictures out there to draw attention to their website, and I don't think we can really ignore that either. I'm still betting on an August announcement for the Switch Mini and possibly Switch Pro with a September release, so not too much longer before we do figure out if I'm right or wrong on that. Now, we also got a few game-related announcements, and I'll go over these real quick. First up, we have the new Cuphead DLC, The Delicious Last Course, and even though we got a snippet of gameplay, it looks like we're going to have to wait just a bit longer than expected with a 2020 release. You can currently get Cuphead on Xbox, PC, and the Nintendo Switch. In the meantime, though, it really is a good game if you want to go check it out. It has a good art style, and it's a pretty challenging game, so if you like challenging games, Cuphead might be up your alley. There was also an announcement for Harvest Moon Friends of Mineral Town Remake for the Nintendo Switch, which was originally on the Game Boy Advance that released way back in 2003. The thing is, as of this moment, the remake has only been announced for Japan, but I'd expect a localization in the West as well at some point, even though they haven't announced it quite yet. Hopefully it'll release side by side with the Japanese release, but I guess we'll see on that. I've never played Friends of Mineral Town personally, but it is one of the higher rated Harvest Moon titles, so we'll see soon enough on how this holds up 16 years after the original release, and what kind of quality of life changes it gets. Speaking of Japanese games, developer Falcom hinted that we could see a port of Trails of Heroes Evolution, which was a remake with voice acting of the original Trails of Heroes. Now, some people actually do include these games in the best JRPG game discussion, and I can personally say that if you do like old school JRPG games, they are very good games and worth checking out. I mean, I think they're much better than the Trails of Cold Steel series, and sorry if you like those games. I think they're okay. But anyways, in particular, Toshihiro Kondo seemed to be unhappy that Trails of Heroes is getting harder to play now that the Vita is pretty much dead. Granted, you can play the original Trails of Hero games on the PC, so I'm going to assume if a port is made, you could expect this on PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch at the very least. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about today is that it does appear that Microsoft still seems to be developing some kind of XCloud console, which was reported by insider Brad Sams, which is pretty much the gold standard for Microsoft and Xbox related rumors as of right now. Originally, there was rumors that Xbox was going to make two consoles, which was the Scarlett, a flagship console with a lot of power, and Lockhart, a more budget-friendly option. Well, from everything we've heard, Lockhart is no more, and they're just going to stick with one console next generation. But this xCloud box could fill in as a much more budget-friendly option. It appears to be a low-powered box that could give users a better streaming experience than simply using their smart TV or phone to stream games too. I don't think this device would be aimed at a more hardcore market, but rather users who would just want to play the latest games as cheap as possible. And that's really where game streaming seems to be headed right now. It just seems like an option, and Microsoft has said this over and over again, that consoles aren't going anywhere as they really are the best place to play games, and that isn't going to change anytime soon. Now, Google may want to say otherwise, but I think the much more enticing options will remain with Xbox and PlayStation next generation. The thing I think people really should be paying attention to right now is services such as Xbox Game Pass, because I do think it will likely be paired with xCloud, which could actually end up making this little xCloud box an enticing option. Anyways though, what do you all think about all this? I'd really like to hear what your all's thoughts are on this, so make sure to comment below. And as always, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content just like this. Peace out.